Hey there, it's Elke.
And Jen, hi.
And we are here to do a panel discussion all about Zazzle product suite. And if you don't know who we are, because we're also streaming to YouTube, then you will find out that we are Zazzle designers. Well, actually, we own our own businesses, and we license our designs to Zazzle, which is a print-on-demand company. And so we can be called Zazzle designers, but we're not working for Zazzle, we're working for ourselves. And we've done pretty well at this. We've made over $1.5 million in total so far, take home. That means we've sold about $15 million worth of Zazzle products over the course of our time using Zazzle as a platform to make money on. And so we're doing a bunch of lives here to help you out and make sure that you also understand how significant it is to be able to be on Zazzle, especially if you're in the business of, like, you're checking out stuff right now to see what you could do online, maybe because of COVID-19, or you just want to change in what you're doing in your life so that you can actually do things that you love, like being creative, and make money doing it. And because of COVID and all this stuff that's happening, you just want to go, okay, life's short. Let's just do what we really need to do. That's actually what happened to me a long time ago. I had a career, corporate. I was taking my kids to the babysitters, doing the 9-to-5 cubicle thing, traveling, dressing up, being really like business-like. And then I realized, what am I doing? I need to be home with my kids. I still want to earn that amount of money. I want to have 6 figures coming in, but I want to do it with my creativity, and I want to do it by having the time freedom to be home with my kids. Obviously, she's a little older now because this is my daughter. And after they all got older, my kids, then there were a lot of benefits to me having my own income coming in. Travel, being financially secure, all these things. And then now when COVID-19 hit, I didn't really have as much impact as maybe you did. And on a way, I feel really bad about any situation that you're in currently that might be a personal situation, financial situation. But we're here to talk to you about there's opportunities other than doing what you're doing now. Zazzle is one of them. It's a really cool company. And the reason that we're giving you so much of an introduction, even if you're in our special Creative and Ambitious Facebook group, by the way, you can join that if you're watching on YouTube, is because we want to just put it in perspective. Today we're doing a panel discussion about product suite. And, some people go, well, I just need to make the products that make me the money, so I'm finished. No, you have to treat it as a business. And by treating it as a business, your product suite turns out to be your workers. And as if you're owning it, like if you own a company, you've got employees, and the employees are not there to keep you company, they're there to make you money. And so now this is what we want to do today with this product suite. We want to talk to you about how you can, on a high level, because we have courses and masterminds and all kinds of things that you may or may not want to be part of, but it takes a while to figure out how to build a proper product suite in order for you to start making 6 figures. But that's what has been possible for us, and we are here to start you off on that journey, which is really cool. Obviously, we have a couple of events and things and courses and coaching opportunities that you can take part of, which you can always ask us about. But the main thing right now is this is a free training for the next hour, actually more like 50 minutes because I started talking already. And we are going to talk about what you can do right now to figure out what you need for your product suite so that you can get to those numbers per month. And that's what we want to start out with, is put in the chat, if you can, what numbers you're already dealing with. Are you dealing with $5 a month, $10 a month, $100 a month, $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month on Zazzle? Like what's your earning income? Not what you're selling, but earning income. Because then we can start working on what it is that you need. And you can also start to understand the concept of, wow, I said I wanted to make $10,000 for the year, and I'm only making $100 a month. Times that by 12, Is that going to get you where you're going to go or where you want to go? It's going to be 10 times less than what you need, right? So then we know, okay, I have to build up my inventory so that it makes 10 times more money for us. I'm saying us, we're already on board with you. We're already trying to help you out. So let's put that down and start with that, and then we keep going. So while people are writing that down, why don't you say something about what your Zazzle journey is, and a little bit more about that and your experience with Product Suite.
Okay, well, I started Zazzle around the same time that my mother Elke did, around 13 years ago, and I was in university at the time, and I was a little bit confused on what I wanted to do in terms of my career path. I was studying business, but I was not having the greatest time, and I decided to start working on Zazzle to make some extra money on the side so that I could spend it while I was in university, because I didn't have time for an actual physical job. And my mom had come across Zazzle and said, hey, this is an amazing opportunity. You're a really creative person. This will give you a way. This will give you an opportunity. This will give you an opportunity to make money online using your creativity, and you can do it whenever you want and whenever you have free time. And so I started to work on Zazzle, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it, but I was always just treating it as sort of like a fun hobby here and there, because I was in school and I was not so dedicated to one thing or the other, and I was still a little bit unsure on where I wanted to go in my career. And after about a year and a half, I realized that my mom was starting to make some good money on Zazzle, and she said, look, you need to really work on it. You need to treat it as a business, not just as a hobby, and it has great potential. And if anyone who's online with us started out with Zazzle way back when, it's a completely different platform now. They have updated and upgraded so much. So back then, it was actually almost like an anomaly that people were buying on the internet, because people were unsure about using their credit card online, and purchasing online hadn't become a big thing yet. And so when we realized that we could actually really make some, our actual earnings and replace like a proper 9-to-5 job, we decided that we would actually put in the work. And I followed the exact same steps that my mom had followed, because I wanted to start making money too. And so I finally started to treat it as a business and not as a hobby, and not just sort of like have fun here and there. And when I started to do that, I started to make quite a bit of money, and I was actually able to support myself fully and move over to Mallorca, Spain, which is kind of like the Florida for the States. It's a Mediterranean vacation spot. And I was able to live there for the past 10 years, just solely based on my Zazzle earnings, because I had built up my business properly. And if that makes you feel good, you can just basically get up and leave. You can travel wherever you want. I was able to buy a car and rent an apartment and fully live. And for someone who is younger at that age, especially during coming out of like an economic crisis, I had become someone who was much further along than a lot of my friends, because they were just coming out of university and were still looking for jobs. So I was able to have that advantage because I was working on Zazzle, and because I built up a Zazzle business. And I'm super fortunate that I was able to work wherever I wanted to, as long as I had my laptop and Wi-Fi. And Zazzle had opened up a world of opportunities that I never thought were even possible way back when I first started out on Zazzle. And as soon as I switched over to treating it as a business and actually making business decisions rather than just sort of having fun with it, I started to make a lot of money, and I was able to replace basically a 9-to-5 job that I would have had to potentially look for. Because it'll be like a little secret here, but I've never actually had a physical job in an office space. I've had some jobs here and there when I had first transitioned out of university and I was trying to look for what I wanted to do. But Zazzle has been my baby for the past 13 years, and it will continue to be my baby for as long as Zazzle is still working, because it has opened, as I said, it's opened up so many amazing possibilities, and it's just absolutely amazing. Like the platform is perfect in terms of the fact that you have design freedom as a designer. You're able to set your own royalty. You make money in your sleep, basically. If you're selling your products, you're able to have design freedom. You don't have to physically make the products, and you're able to just design. You don't have to like deal with customer service. If you want to do external promotion, then you can definitely do that. But Zazzle basically does all of the work for you. And I know that a lot of the people who are watching online with us are on Zazzle, and they have seen the benefits and they understand fully what Zazzle is, which is awesome. But if you're new here, or if you haven't actually realized the full potential about what Zazzle truly is, and you're just kind of treating it as a hobby, this is sort of your wake-up call. Because right now, with coronavirus and the economy being a little bit unstable right now, if you put the effort into your Zazzle business and you actually work hard at it, it could potentially be something absolutely amazing that now gives you that stability that you're searching for at this point in time. We have had some of our students in the midst of the pandemic back in March and April,
Even now still.
and even now, making their highest month's earnings on Zazzle because they implemented the strategies that we gave them throughout the year.
Yeah, and whether that's, doubling from $100 to $200, some people have made up to $5,000 and $10,000 per month, which is their take home, which is awesome.
Yeah. And so for all, I think the reason why we work really well together as a mother-daughter team teaching people on how to make money online with Zazzle is because we're very compatible. We work really well, but then also you get two different perspectives. So the elder generation, where you wanted to stay at home and stay home with your kids. I don't personally have children, so that's not in my reality. I want to travel, I want to do things, and I want to, explore the world. Now you're able to do that. But before, your why on why you created your Zazzle business was because you wanted to make sure that you were able to help your kids grow up and be there for them. And so we both have these two distinct stories, which we can relate to many different women and men as well, based on which period of life they're living through right now.
Yeah, and I was a creative you can see some of my artwork in the back. I was like photography and painting and so on, and Jen was more physical art. And no matter what kind of creativity you have, you can bring that to the Zazzle platform. And Zazzle has this amazing design tool where you can literally use that as your Photoshop. And actually, they're even integrated with Photoshop now, which is so cool. Yeah, Zazzle's always upping their game so that us as creatives can either bring our creativity to sell in that marketplace, or even just be creative on the platform and start selling whatever we just made right on the Zazzle platform. It's so cool.
Okay, we're going to read some of the comments because we've got some people online. We've got some people on YouTube and then also on Facebook, which is really great.
And we have the first person who said their income was Lucy. She managed 42 pounds in 3 years. Well, I know you've got a little crying face next to that. Well, when we first started out, that was our problem. We didn't know what to do. So in the first year, I made $90 Canadian, which is sad. I didn't even get a payout, which I think yours was similar.
No, I didn't get a payout either.
And
the minimum payout, if you don't know, on Zazzle is $100. And that way back when we started out, it was actually a check. They sent you a check. So we were waiting for our check. And yeah, I went through the first year without getting money because we didn't reach $100.
Yeah, we worked so hard on that. And it wasn't just a hobby back then. It was like, for me, it was, I want to replace my $100,000 job. And it was like, oops, this is not working. But it was not it wasn't the Zazzle platform. It was me not knowing exactly what to do. And so lots of failure, lots of crying, lots of like, I'm going to give up. I'm going to go back to my day job. And then after about a year and a half, I finally figured out that this really needed 5 strategies. We called them steps about a year and a half ago, and we decided to switch the name. So some people still say steps, which is fine. But 5 strategies, which are, first of all, you have to establish yourself. So that's strategy number 1. And there's a couple of things in establish. Create is the number 2 one, and that's what we're talking about today, is creating products. And then the third one is announce, which means obviously promotion and announcing yourself. Hey, I have this amazing stuff here. Let's buy it. And then the next one is anything to do with it's like mindset, goal setting, being in the right headspace, not just even mindset, taking those actions and being a proper CEO, running your business, all aligned, which is strategy number 4, align with your business. So there's a big group of things that are all in there, but basically together you are aligned in your business. Just like what Jen was saying, it's like we really needed to just get aligned with the fact that we're running this business, this is how we're treating it, and this is our mindset that we're bringing to the table and all that stuff. And then the last one is analyze, which means that you have to check to see what the heck is happening in your business, right? You can't just keep running a business. That's why we asked you to tell us, what is your earnings? It's not because we want to check it out to see how much you've earned and then judge you. No, that's not it. The analyzing is, how long have I been on Zazzle? What have I made total? Or, what did I make last month? And, the people that are part of our courses, they already are getting it. They're being a business owner. Mm-hmm. They're not only saying what their totals are, because they figured it out, which is really important because most people don't. And then they put parameters around it. Like Angel, she said, I made $14.95 in 2014. That added a date. So then now it's perspective, right? You've got the perspective. That's how much she's made back then. But now another perspective. In May, that's her perspective. She made $40.35 in June. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Now, if you told someone, oh, I made $40 on Zazzle, they'd go, why? Why bother? But the fact that she's got that perspective of, in 2014, I only made $14.95, and now I basically doubled it, and then almost like 1.5 times it in the next month, which is June. It's like, right? It's you're definitely improving based on what you used to do. Why? Because you're doing different things. And now you also then, as a relation to that, you can say, okay, I've been doing different things. What are they? And I'm going to keep doing those. And the more I do those, the more I can see that there will be a predictable income increase. You can't predict every income increase, obviously, but by doing certain things, especially the 5 strategies, then you start to feel more confident that your predictions are going to come true. And that's one of the things that we're very confident in now, because Jen and I both use these 5 strategies now that we've become successful. And we've been teaching the 5 strategies to people since almost 3 years now. Mm-hmm. And we have had so many success stories that we are just so thrilled for everyone who has taken the steps to do the 5 strategies. And so this is fabulous. Okay, so the 5 strategies are there. We've also got, Liz said something else, didn't she? Or Lucy said something else afterwards. Amy's on.
So yeah, we've got Amy. Then we've got Angel.
Lucy said something else, but she didn't. Okay, awesome.
I think she said good afternoon from the UK. So
okay.
Does anybody resonate with that? Especially, I really like that Angel wrote that down because sometimes when we think about our Zazzle earnings, we get a little bit discouraged at the price point of our earnings that are coming in, right? It's like, oh, I've only made a couple cents, or I haven't made any sales yet. But if you actually do the comparison to when you first started out, or even before, and you've actually made your defining moment, or said, this day I'm going to actually make proper decisions going forward, how much have you changed? And when you actually look at the percentages, you realize, wow, that's like a lot of percentage higher than what I was doing before. And even the fact that she said, and nothing since then, that's 6 years ago, right? And so she started 6 years ago, and then finally she wanted to ramp up her Zazzle business again and restart it. And the fact that she can just now start implementing the strategies
in 1
month and see results is absolutely amazing. So
yeah.
there are so many possibilities for people to create a profitable Zazzle business. And even though there is a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, people are still making money, and people are going to still buy things, whether that be splurging a little bit on more of a personalized gift. And that's the most amazing thing about Zazzle, is that everything can be customized. And we are going to probably see people buy gifts that are more meaningful now, because people either don't have as much money, or they're going to save their money for a proper gift and actually have it not just be some sort of splurge gift. And this is why Zazzle is perfect for that. and that you can create a business on it right now. And also, it's a perfect business model right now where you're working at home and you're selling your designs, because all of these, obviously all of you are creatives. And if you aren't creative, you're still able to work on Zazzle. Zazzle has an interactive design tool, which is super easy to use. And you can become a creative without even knowing it.
Yeah. So let's get into some product suite questions. This is an open panel discussion, which not just us talking to you. So tell us a little bit about issues that you're having, or that's why we ask people to put in their amount that they are currently earning, and we got 2 people. So first thing about being a business owner and wanting to, if you want to be successful on Zazzle, you have to step up. You have to step up to the plate, and you have to know your numbers. And even if you don't, you have to be involved and ask questions. You've got 2 people here that have together have made over $1.5 million, and you're not asking any questions, and you're not involved in the conversation. So I want you to do that because then what we can do is work with you. So Lucy and Angel have already said something, so we'll work with Angel for a minute. So now the point is what is Angel's goal? Angel's goal is, I think, if I remember correctly, she wants to make about $2,000 for the year.
She says, well, at least 2 times more this next month. My goal is $100 for July.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't read that far down.
You're already ahead of us.
Yay. Okay, so Angel, who's part of our Profit by Design Academy, has learned and she's taking ownership. Awesome. Yeah, so what's your goal? And it can be an immediate goal, or it can be like a yearly goal, and then you break it down to see how you're doing on a monthly basis so that you can keep track of how you're doing and pivot if you can't see that happening. All right, so goal is $100 for July. Awesome. Okay, so what could Angel do to make that goal happen? Well, a couple of things. First of all, especially with production strategy, which is what we're talking about today, is your product suite is working for you, but it also has to have all the other elements and people work and factors working for you as well, which means, okay, people, if you ever walked into a store and it's just the day after Halloween, and maybe even before, and there's already no Halloween stuff, just Christmas. Okay. Or have you walked into a store where it's just finished being Valentine's Day and it's already Easter stuff? The reason is, even if it's even that time of the month for that particular holiday, or even just like seasonal clothes. Go in the summer, you want to buy a pair of shorts, and all they have is long pants and all the dull colors for fall. Why is that? It's because there's a certain a number of months that are in the cycle of how things progress so that people can be ready to, the merchandisers and the stores are ready to sell to the customer. The customer actually has no say in this. It's not the person who wants to buy a pair of shorts on a hot day and they go into some store and it's all for fall. That's unfortunately not. I'm sorry, we're in our home office here because of COVID. So I'm sorry about that. I forgot to turn that off. So this is what has to happen with you and understanding your business. You have to know that, excuse me. Goodness, I don't know where that came from. So you have to understand your business, and you have to understand where you're doing your business. So Zazzle needs about 2 to 3 months ahead of time for something to sell. Like if you make a product, it has to be made 2 to 3 months ahead of time, or in order to be relevant for the month that you want to sell or make money in. Okay, so Angel wants to make money, make $100 now, but her $100, except for some things that she can tweak and work with now in terms of promotion, her products would have had to be made about 2 months ago in order for them to be ready to be able to just say, okay, they're primed and ready now for customers who are looking in July. Okay, so that's good. That's the first thing. Be prepared 2 to 3 months ahead of time of whatever it is you predict to be selling. The second thing is you need to know what to predict to be selling. And there's a schedule. There's some things that are on Zazzle, on the Zazzle blog, And also we teach that as well in the Profit by Design Academy as to how to gauge what might be selling. The obvious things are, like I mentioned, all the holidays. Then you just go 2 months back or 3 months back and you go, okay, then if I want to make any money on what's coming up next, that would be like the 4th of July is too late, for example. If you want to make something for 4th of July, a little bit too late, because you not only need to have it put into the Zazzle marketplace and have the bots all working and finding it and sorting it into the right sorts, but you also need the Zazzle staff who are part of the marketing department to find them and start promoting them. Who wouldn't like organic, no cost promotion just by you making a product and having it ready for the marketing department in Zazzle to be able to say, oh, I'm going to use that in the email promotion strategy, or post it on one of the landing pages on Zazzle. That would be so cool, right? And that's what you're looking for. Anywhere where we can assume that we can get some free marketing and promotion for our products suite, then that's what we're going to do. And that's if you haven't already realized that, that's a big aha moment for you this time in this free session. Okay, so that's the first thing. Make them ahead of time so that they can filter through into the sorts. Make sure they're ready and available on the Zazzle marketplace for the marketing people to create their promo. And the Zazzle marketing people don't create their promo a day before. They have it all lined up, for like a weeks before. And so they are ready, and they need your products to be ready for that. And so be kind and gentle and work with them, because that's what we're doing. We're not working against Zazzle, we're working with Zazzle, even though we're not specifically speaking to them, because that's not what they do. But we are helping them out by being very savvy business owners. And then the third thing that you have to consider is, are you actually making something that people want? And so that's really important, because you can say, oh, I made stuff for graduation and it didn't work, or I made stuff for Easter and it didn't sell. You didn't meet the market needs, or your products weren't found. And this is another aha moment that you can take away from this session, is that Jen and I sometimes make a product for a particular situation or occasion or season, and then it doesn't work. But magically, it works next year. Mm-hmm. So we are here as business owners, including you, for the long term, right? So if you don't make something, or if you make something this year, and it's really good, it's titled properly, it's tagged properly, you've done all the right things, you've promoted it, but it doesn't sell, or it sells one and then nothing. That's not a loss, that's a gain. And the gain is that you showed up. The gain is that you made the right product, you made a design that's really cool. You just haven't, this is the factor and another aha moment that you have yet to understand very clearly, but now you're going to keep that in mind when you're thinking about making products, is that you are always just putting stuff out there. And then if all of those things collide and work for you, and it doesn't matter, even if you don't get promoted by Zazzle, if just all of a sudden some of the affiliates that are constantly on Zazzle looking for products that they are going to make money with, because they are really great at promoting, and they are going to put it on their websites or Pinterest or Instagram, wherever they want to promote. If this sort of magical thing of coincidences happens, then all of a sudden your product might start to sell, and for no other reason than, wow, it must have been some sort of web and weave through all the intricacies of everything that's out there that you don't know that's happening, that all of a sudden it got that first sale, and then it got its second sale, and then it got the third sale, and then all of a sudden it's a product that's making you $10,000 in total over its lifetime. And so that's happened to many of us. And that's what you will have to consider when you are making that product. Send it off into the universe and say, hey, this is going to be a chance, but it could be a good chance, and it could be not a reflection of my personality traits, abilities, and or whatever, if it doesn't sell, right? So not only are we making a product suite and talking about products today, but we're also talking about how to manage your mindset, which is strategy number 4 with regards to product suites. You can't always assume that if you put out a product and you love it, that it's going to sell. And if it does sell, awesome. But if it doesn't sell, don't beat yourself up about it. Okay, so we've got some comments now. Thank you so much for putting some more in. Let's get back to Angel. So she needs to make products, but her monthly goal right now is something that she hopefully will get to. But what can she do right now for her monthly goal if it's not going to really make a lot of products? Like that part isn't actually part of her strategy in July to make July's number of 100. She can promote, right? And that's strategy number 3, announce. So promote the heck out of those things that you think are going to sell in July. That will help move forward your business in selling those products. Making them, which is what we're talking about today, that's, you see how they're all interwoven, the strategies. You can't have one without the other. So you do need to already think about what it is that you're promoting. Just because you're promoting doesn't mean you're going to sell if it's not something the customer wants in July. So that's number 2. Number 3, if you have the ability to figure out, let me just put this, how do I put this? Yeah, maybe just check on some questions. I'm going to just try and phrase this a little bit more.
Do you want me to go to another person who's given the income code? Okay, so.
I think it's coming back to me. Poor Angel, I'm giving you a lot of information. Hopefully everyone else, is everyone really liking this?
Everybody has said yes, but also when we're speaking about a specific person, I always like to remind everyone every session, even though we're talking about Angel and what she's doing and her income goals and what she's earned, the information that we give you back is what can be applicable to everybody. And it's not just specifically about Angel's situation. And you might say to yourself, oh, well, I'm doing promotion. Well, think about your promotion and think about what else you can do. Or if you've done everything else that Elke has mentioned, then think about how this situation can apply to you and how you can move forward.
Yeah, exactly. I remember what it was now. So what is really fun too is that there's 2 different sorts on Zazzle. One is the popular sort, and that's what everybody goes to look at, and they go, oh, my products aren't in the top pages of the Zazzle sort. And so then you get discouraged and upset. But what if people do this, they go to the new product sort because they want to find out what's new, right? Maybe they don't even like the popular product sort. They go, well, this isn't for me. What about this other sort where it says new? I'm going to try that, because then that way people are coming to Zazzle for their own unique products, right? They want to have something unique. And so why not check out the new? Because that would be the newest, latest, and no one else would have that. They would be the first. And so it's a little tip that we want to give you here. So this is like tip number, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 of all the things that you can do with your production suite to be able to be effective on selling on Zazzle. And that is to make products consistently. And because of that, even though you're making a product in July that is for July, people might find it in this new sort. And so therefore you can have those odd times. It doesn't happen, it's not a consistent strategy, but it's also something you can try to make some products consistently, maybe like 1 or 2 a week or something like that, that are still specifically related to things people want to buy in the month that you're in. And therefore your product will be in that new sort, and therefore they might pick that up and start to buy it, and then that becomes a more popular product and gets you into that popular sort quicker with that one product. Okay, so what else have we got? We've got Kate Murphy.
Kate Murphy said,
Maria said something.
Yeah, Kate says, I make an average of $35 a month since 2017. I've never really increased. I also sell the exact same products every single month. Okay, well, that's also interesting. And since you are a PDA member at Profit by Design Academy, and then also you've just joined the profitable membership, which is really great.
You're going to have like some really aha moments for sure.
Because I know your store. I've looked at it before, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Your designs are wonderful. You don't have any design issues or flaws at this point. Maybe there might be something to do with your templates. I haven't really dove deeper into your store, but I think it's more so that you just need to know the business aspect of it. And that's what happens with some of us creatives, is that we're very, very creative and we have beautiful designs, but they're just not selling. And I think that you should definitely, like my own personal opinion, you should be making more than $35 a month. I can't make any income claim statements, but I think that based on what your store looks like and your designs, it is got a lot more value than that. So there's just some tweakings that we can do within your Zazzle store. And in our course and also in our membership, we're going to talk to you about those things and really help you out. But if you wanted to say anything, or is it what you've mentioned is it to Angel can be applied to everybody as well? I wasn't here.
No, the Kate Murphy, that's a really cool thing that first of all, you're averaging that amount. You're not decreasing. Now what you need to do is analyze your products a little bit more. That's strategy number 5, to see what it is that you're selling out of that. You've analyzed how much you're bringing in every month and that it's consistent, cool. But now what is it that's specifically selling? And when you do that, then you'll realize, oh, this is selling in May, this is selling in June, this is selling in July. And then you start to see trends. What is also not selling in certain months but still selling in other months, that's also really, really important. And again, so we're talking the strategy number 2, which is create products, but also strategy number 5, which is analyzing. And the two have to come together because Kate is a talented designer. Kate is very not desperate, but would really like this to work, right? And it hasn't worked for her because 35 may be a really great amount to start with, but obviously she wants to make this work even more so, right? And so in her case and in all of yours, even if you're not part of the Profit by Design Academy, look at what it is that's working for you. So remember I said at the beginning, your products are your workers. And what are they doing? And are they slacking off at certain times? Or have they just left the building and they've called in sick for the last 2 months or even a year? And you go, well, let's see what we can do. Do they need more incentives? Do they need to be a kick in the butt? Do they need to just be fired? And so think of it in that analogy, and then you start to have fun and play with it and take away the personal aspect of it. Because us as designers, every single one of our products is our baby, as Jen said. And then if it doesn't start to sell, first of all, then we're really emotional about it. I don't know about you, but I am. Because I worked hard to make that work. And now all of a sudden there's crickets. And I think, first it was frustration. Second, what did I do wrong? How come I'm not a good artist? And you just go down this rabbit hole and it's not good.
No.
And so that is why we have align as strategy number 4. And strategy number 4 means not just aligning yourself and I'm going to be a good person, a good businesswoman. I'm going to deal with my business. It's also, I'm not going to let those things affect me. And I'm also going to really take a look at my staff. And the staff are your products. And so in your case, since Kate hasn't maybe done this analysis yet, but let's take some scenarios. If Kate's product was selling well because it was something seasonal, and then it doesn't sell well when it's not that season, then it's a no-brainer, right? It means that she has products that are selling well in a particular season, and that she can count on those year after year, because she says she's been doing this since 2017. Even though it's $35, it doesn't matter if it's $10, $35, or $5,000. You need to check out what's selling at what day of the what month, and what's contributing to your bottom line. And so the thing that's really important is if you see that this 35 average is kind of cool, because it means that something's selling every month, but it's not always the same thing, more than likely. Or it's one thing that's evergreen, as we like to call it, that's selling consistently every month, but it may be that there's not enough of a market for it, or it's just a really low-priced item that will only give you so much, and you've kind of hit the ceiling of how many people buy that on average per month. there's so many different variations and combinations that you now have to check in on, and that's the analyze portion. But by just giving you those scenarios, you can start to go, never considered that. What's going on? Like, so now I want all of you to do that. I want you to go and check to see what's selling at each different month. And especially Kate, what is contributing to your $35 a month? And then once you have that, then you can start to realize, okay, if it's only selling a couple months a year and it has to do with it being a seasonal item, then that means that you can count on that income for that seasonal time. And if you see that it sold in 2017 and then you sold it again in 2019, and then predictably, if like it's coming up, maybe those products that are selling in September and October are the ones that are giving you that money. And if it sells again in this September and October, that means you have 3 years of data that show consistently that this is a thing, and that you have gotten into something that's really lucrative for you. And so now the idea is to expand on it. And that's what we teach in the Profit by Design Academy, is how to expand on that. But let's do some brainstorming and figure out how she could expand on that. And if you have any more information, Kate, about what it is that is what is the product and or products that are giving you the 35, let us know. Does anyone have any questions about that? Because this is like really, really important. And we go into this actually more in our masterminds, but this is the key parts of it, because it's really important that you know what each of your products, which are your workers, are doing. And if they're not performing at the time that you are expecting them to perform, I'm getting a lot of tongue-tied today. I'm just so excited. I want to tell more than I can possibly say all in one go here. Then what has to happen is you have to analyze each of the products. Did they get views? If they got views, how come they're not selling? If they're not selling, and then have views, is it what? Like my design, my templates, like what's going on, right? Or am I just not meeting the market need? So all of those are part of creating your product suite, right? And then the other one is, what if it is selling? What can I do to maximize that? And do you want to talk a bit about that? Because I'm doing a lot of talking.
No, you go for it, because you're on a roll.
Okay. So
I'm just monitoring the questions here. We do have a lot of people who have now put in their earnings, which is really great.
Okay.
But Kate says, thank you so much. Evergreen Design birthday cards.
Awesome.
90% of my monthly income from me.
Okay, so that is perfect. So now we'll keep going with Kate's example. Because now we go, okay, 90% of her stuff that's selling is birthday cards. Awesome. That means now we're digging deeper, and that's what you need to do too when you're looking at your like, not Kate, but everyone else. And so now we would say, well, whose birthday is that? Like, are you dealing with a kid's 9th birthday? Are you dealing with a 30th women's birthday? And you, first of all, you say, okay, that birthday, like the birthday niche, is a thing, right? So that's check box number 1. I'm going to keep working on birthdays. Secondly, which niche market am I dealing with? Am I dealing with younger ages, older ages, milestone birthdays, female, male? And if you're not, but you realize, well, birthdays is a thing, I just ticked that off and I said, I'm going to expand into birthdays because my birthday workers, my products are doing really, really well. So how can I expand my, like if you said, okay, we're doing really well in computer programming, let's move into more software development, you'd hire more software developers. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to hire more birthday products, and you're going to create those. And so then you would decide, okay, I'm going to do some market research. I'm going to figure out, is it children's birthdays, adult birthdays, milestone birthdays, like I'm talking like 80, 90, what's selling? What are people looking for? Go to Google Trends, figure it out. We teach all of this in the Profit by Design Academy, just so you know, in case you go, oh my gosh, what the heck am I supposed to do now? We have all this step-by-step laid out for you if you need to, but you can do this on your own if you'd like. just right now, because we do give away a lot of free stuff. And if you're like really good at this and doing it on your own, then go for it. And I want to hear back from you so that we can say, even with our free stuff, people are doing really well, because we're here to empower you. We're not here to, like, we are here to help you in whatever way you need, right? If you are in need of free stuff, which can get you only so far, or you want to just go right in and make sure that you're investing in yourself and your business, that's what we're talking about anyway, is being a proper business owner, then we have a lot of stuff that we can help you with: coaching, courses, 3-day live events, which actually we do want to talk about today in this thing at the end for sure. But yeah, so here we go. We're going to keep working on creating more and more birthday items for Kate. And so if you want that, if you want the birthday, like Kate, if that's where you want to go, it should be an area you should explore. And if anyone else here on the call says, okay, that I have a product that's similar to Kate, it's not in birthdays, but it's in business, or it's in sports equipment, or it's, yeah, whatever, then you realize, okay, now I can use this and apply the same principle to my own product suite, and I can get more workers to work for me to make more money. Because what if Kate had 2 products? Let's just do the math. If she had double the inventory of what she currently has, and she explored into more like age-related niches rather than just the birthday niche of whatever she's doing right now, what would happen? It's a no-brainer. She's making 35 now. What would she be making? 70, right? Okay, so that means she's doubled it. What if, and I have to get it on the screen, what if she has 3 times the workforce? She's tripled it, and so on, right? You get the picture. So how hard is it for you to double, triple, quadruple, 5 times your inventory? Not very hard, right? So many different ways that you can do that. Different designs, different, like look at different niches. If it's a boy, make it a girl. That means that's already double. Things like that, no-brainer things, which are so key, but not very clearly understood, because you're not in this strategy number 4, which is aligning and being a proper business owner, and just being in the mindset of, how are we going to make this work, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so does that help Kate, and does that help everyone else? Let's see some hearts. They don't do hearts anymore. Like, I want to see the heart. I don't see them here on StreamYard because that's what we're doing. But everybody else, I've got you on Facebook. I need to see hearts.
Okay, let's see. So Amy says,
there they are, 1 heart. Oh, come on. That's it? 1 heart? Okay, we're stopping right now. See you later. Oh, there they go.
Amy says, I'm earning around 120 a month, but my current aim is 300 monthly, which is usually the amount I can only make around Christmas. Okay.
Ooh, awesome.
Go for it.
What? You're in the middle of talking.
No, you go for it. Like, I think you've got some, ideas for her.
Amy, tell us more about what you
She has down here at I had her thing here. I've kept my product suite to about 30 items, and I occasionally add in a new item that I think might work. My overall theme is kids, so I go ahead and make products that will work for that.
Okay, so here's the cool thing. Product suite, what does that mean? Right? Amy's saying it's that many products per design or niche or targeted customer, which is cool. So that's another point that I'm really glad you brought this up, because how many products do you make of one design before you give up? And this is what Amy's doing. She's saying about 30 items.
I forgot we could put up thingies on screen. There we go.
She's making about 30 that are similar and all tied together, probably matching products, some that have the same design on, and you're just moving it around so that everything fits together and they could all buy it. The customer could buy it together. Awesome. So then my overall theme is kids. So I go ahead and make products that will work for that. Awesome. And someone Angel put in a lot of hearts to make up first. Okay, we're staying on. Oops, there we go. Awesome. Not even just hearts in the chat, but also in the chat. Awesome. Okay, so I'm easily,
made happy.
gratified. Okay, so thank you so much, ladies. So this is really cool. Now, Amy, kids, so cool that that's your target. But your target is actually the moms, right, of the kids. And this is another thing that we talk about in product suites and even product production, because what we said when we said, let's talk about product suites, when we came on here was, what is your entire business product suite, right? What is it that's going to sell you? If you were like an online course creator, you would have certain courses that you would have in your product suite, and they would all work for you, a low, medium, and high priced product, for example. Or if you are a coach, or even if you're like Coca-Cola, they have a product suite. And that is Coke, which is their main one, but it comes in cans, it comes in bottles, it comes in different flavors. They also have multiple different other products that are working for them, like Dasani water and what's the Fruitopia and things like that. So that's their product suite. So we're talking now about your entire organization that is working for you, right? And that's what we really need. We need everyone to shape up or ship out. and if they're not working for you, how can we get them to work for you? And one of the things that I also really loved about some management, like business training that we're getting, because we're always still learning, we're always paying for training and courses and coaches, Jennifer and I. And one of the things our coach just recently said, which I know I've heard it so many times and I say it, but I've forgotten, that you have to, like as a business owner, you go, well, get the job done. Your employee is supposed to do what you need it to do. But they said, ask them how you can help. And the first reaction for me was, I don't need more time to work with them to see how I can help them. They're supposed to do their job, right? But when you take it the other way and you say, but that person doesn't actually know yet or isn't capable of functioning in that job yet the way they need to in order to get the job done, because they are capable, they just haven't been able to do it yet. So if we translate that into product, then that is such a big learning for all of you here, right? You've put up this product and you go, I expect it to work. I expect it to do it. It's perfect. I know it is. It's all good, but it's still not working, right? So that's the same scenario. So instead of saying delete or or something like going into a rabbit hole of, I'm not a good creative, I'm never going to sell on Zazzle, all those things, that's also not where you go. You go, how can I help you? So you're literally saying to your product, how can I help you? And that product then will, like if you have that mindset, they won't talk to you. Products don't talk, but they give you information. Because if you come at it with that mindset, then what has happened is you're going to assess, just like we've been doing here in this session right now. We're assessing what's up with this product. How can we help it become more successful? Do we let's do a check on it, right? Is it really a good design? And be honest with yourself. Does it meet and match similar design style, quality, color, anything to do with a customer? Like show it to your neighbor. Would you buy this? Well, obviously it has to be a good customer. It can't just be any customer. But let's say you're dealing with kids. For Amy, let's use her example, and she goes to her mom group with her kids, if you have kids, and you say, like, look at this. Would you buy this if you were in need of a birthday card for someone? And you get some market research, right? If everyone goes, wow, this is awesome, I'd buy this in a heartbeat, or they go, well, this is nice, then you know, okay, I need to do some work. But if they say, because they're never going to say it's crap, but they would if they're your best friend, but most likely they'll be nice about it and they'll go, oh, it's nice, I'm surprised it's not selling, stuff like that. But if you can tell from body language, but if it's if they're just like over the moon, where can I get this? Then you know, okay, it's a seller, it's just not selling on Zazzle yet. Why? Then you start to work on the background. That's why we're doing strategy number 5 is analyze. Then you start to go through your checklist. Is it because it's not being found on Zazzle? Is it because when they get there, the templates aren't working? Is it because it's really, really great, but it's meant for a girl and you've got a guy's name in there? Honestly, things like that have happened. And so this is part of creating your product suite, is you you've put the products out there and you think they're supposed to sell, or you've put 1,000 products out there and you go, well, then at least a percentage of those should sell. You could still put 1,000 really, really bad products up and they will never sell. Or you can put up 10 products and they're all amazing and they will each sell so much that you'll never have to put another 10 products up. Those are the two extremes. But either way, in between, what you're doing is constantly working with creating your product suite, as Amy said, but now not just for one design. Now you're going to create it for your entire company, and you're going to keep acting like making sure that each of the product designs on whatever products they are working most effectively for you.
Just want to ask, how much time should we keep going for? Because we have a lot of people who have still...
yeah, so let's go for another 15 minutes if everyone's cool with that.
So Barbara, she says...
Because we're almost at the hour.
Yeah, Barbara says, hi, I'm Barbara, live in New York City. I've made $6.88 in the first 3 months, 8 sales, 3 of which were friends. I noticed I just made a new sale yesterday, so so now I don't feel so bad.
Yeah, and see, Barbara, this is, I'm not going to call you out, but I know you and I've talked to you, so I know that you'll take this the right way. Barbara is associating a lot of her success with her and her feelings and emotions with how much she's selling. And that's the worst thing that you can do. That's strategy number 5 is align. You're aligning yourself with your business and your mindset with your business. You're not allowing your personality, your personhood, and your creative abilities to be measured by how many products you sell on Zazzle. Okay? Just flat out, that's not okay. That's for everyone. Because we can't take, if we want to be good business owners, we can't take it personally. There are so many things that Jen and I have that we can show you in our back end that we thought were amazing. Maybe they truly aren't that great, but we thought they were amazing, and we just went down the rabbit hole so many times, and there's nothing helpful about it.
No, and I think what you need to do too is just feel creative. Us as you're a very creative designer, you're very, like, your artwork is really great. It's obviously a bit different than your streamlined Zazzle products, but we were having a discussion before about where you want to try and outsource people to come in to Zazzle and do external promotion, because I think that would be specifically what your solution is, or a part of your solution to help you move forward in your business. But if you also look at it and you say, okay, 8 sales, 3 of them which were friends, but
yeah, you're already judging. Just put 8 sales, like those sales. It doesn't matter if they're from your friends, because that's putting you down. Yeah. And so that's really, really important.
Well, and then also either 3 of them they're really good friends and they want to support you, or they truly genuinely like your artwork. So it doesn't matter if they're friends or not. And then also 5 of them means that people that you didn't know. So that's 5 customers that you've purchased, that have purchased your artwork without actually knowing who you are, and that you are just starting out. And I think if you actually look at it from the outside of a customer's perspective, they don't know how much money you've made, right? So your sales and their reason to purchase isn't based on your previous sales to other customers, right? Your store has to look good, your products have to look good, you have to have the right titles and tags, and then your customer will come to you. And in your case, maybe you want to bring external people in to Zazzle and bring them through Pinterest or Tumblr or any other social media website that is specific to your perfect avatar. And that's why you're in the Profit by Design Academy and also in the Profitable Membership. And we help you really hone in on who your customer should be and how you need to attract them, right? Yeah. Since your artwork is so specific to a specific type of person who likes that type of art, you have to find those people or use the right titles and tags and attract those types of people. And that goes for everybody else who's designing something in a very specific niche. Not all designers on Zazzle make money with wedding invitations or birthday cards. They make money with other designs, and there are so many other successful artists that we don't see on the main homepage because Zazzle is promoting those types of products. But there are how many designers on Zazzle?
Well, it has over like millions. There's millions of them.
And that shouldn't scare you. It means that there are so many possibilities for people to make money online with Zazzle.
And have you ever heard of Grumpy Cat? Well, they started on Zazzle. Have you ever heard of, there were a whole bunch of really out there things that have done really well on Zazzle. And of course, Zazzle's going to start promote you if your stuff starts to sell. And then that will change the tone of like the homepage.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to get back to before we quit this, because Jen said a whole bunch of really great stuff, but one of the points that I really want to focus on with Barbara is as empaths and as emotional artists, because that's what we are, is we take everything to heart. It takes me a ton of time to overcome any negative saying, and who wouldn't, right? Like, but we're even more so affected. But it's going to affect your creativity. It's going to affect how you show up as your business in your business. It's going to stop, like maybe even time-wise, it's going to take away from your valuable time to get back up into making more products on Zazzle. And especially for you, you're also dependent on your actual artwork that you create. And that's so timely and important because you do a lot of stuff for Trump and election and political stuff and COVID. And so you need to be in your game and on all the time. You can't let small sales affect you. Obviously, you need to have money coming in. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. But this is what's going to start it for you, is you bring that good energy to your comics, and also to how you present them and how you like the possibilities that you can see, because that's what creates the comics in the first place. So a lot of what you're going to do is brainstorm and have fun playing with things and then taking action. When we were on the last call, we already gave you a whole bunch of stuff that were really great ideas. Did you do them? Because if you didn't, I'm going to get on you, because that's part of what we do. We're not just nice and friendly. We also kick butt sometimes. So I want to see those designs, Barbara, and then show them to me, and let's see how they're titled and tagged, so that could be the issues. Like Jen said, there's two ways: bringing people in, but also having people just find you organically, which we teach, and so that you don't have to like be the queen of promotion, because we are not queens of promotion. We made 1.5 million, so that it's really part of the whole concept, right? You're making the products. And in Barbara's case, like if no one knows her stuff, go check it out. It's really, really good. And it's so much fun. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's sort of a mixture of a bunch of the really famous comic strips that I've used to watch. I don't know, or read in the newspapers, right? A long time ago. That really dates me.
Yeah. But for example, Barbara, I know we're talking about her design specifically, but because she's in the Profit by Design Academy and the Profitable Membership, we always check up on our students and make sure that like they're applying the work, or that even if we have an idea that really isn't part of the course material, we reach out to them and we speak to them. So I messaged Barbara personally, and I saw that she had a really cool design, and I told her to rename it because the titles and tags just didn't connect with it. And I don't know if that product has sold, but to be honest, the title, it might change her sales in the future. So we always do that for our students. We give like 200%, 1,000%, and we want you to succeed. That's the whole point of this whole community, of our courses, of our membership, and of obviously these free videos and trainings that we do on Facebook and on YouTube.
I think in combined, since we started the course, I think we're getting up to like our students earning about $500,000 in combined. Some people don't tell us their income, but from the people that we know, our students' income, like all of our students together, I think I've gotten up to almost the $500,000 mark. I can't be sure, but we're here to support you, and there's so much abundance. But you have to bring your own A game to the table. You have to do the work, and you have to provide a new and interesting market. And that's what that's why Barbara is such a like great sport, because she's bringing something really new and different to the table, right? She's not another one of the wedding designers or another one of the birthday designers. So it's a very different way to approach the business. So that makes it very interesting to not only coach her, but also for other people to realize that you don't have to be an occasions person to be on Zazzle. There are so many different opportunities, and you just need to figure it out. And you can sell your art. You can sell your, like, whatever art it is. We have one person who's doing comics that they've now got their own comic book. They've been showcased at the Apple Store in Singapore. They've won awards. This is all because we've helped coach someone. And we have a lot of, like, there's more examples of that, but it's just fun. Like, don't limit yourself. Zazzle could be your complete earnings opportunity, or it could be your springboard to something else that even just explodes into a business you never even knew was possible. So let's, like, if you're interested in working with us, stick around.
Okay, we'll go through some more quickly here.
Okay.
We've got Liz. As I said yesterday, I've made $8. What's up?
Oh, and I just wanted to hug Barbara virtually, because otherwise she won't be happy.
Sending lots of love. But yes, no, don't ever. I know that Zazzle, and we are all, if you're an empath, if you're creative, you get affected by either you feel like you're not doing good enough if you're not selling, or if people, I know later on in the chat, Cassie on YouTube says that if someone says something negative about her artwork, she gets very affected. We all, I can personally say that I feel that way. You feel that way. We are very connected to our creations because we put our heart and soul into doing them. We're not just here only to make money. We're also here to be creative and have fun doing it. And when someone says something, or when we don't see the sales that we want to achieve, then we feel like we're not doing something right, or we second guess ourselves, or we put ourselves down, which is really, really horrible, because ultimately you're the only one who can bring yourself back up to those spirits. And we've said multiple times, with one negative comment, that means that you need to counteract that with at least 7 positive comments to make you feel in a good space. Plus, the negative comment is always in the back of your mind. Like, as soon as you're having a perfect day, and then somebody says you're having a bad hair day, or like you did something wrong, your entire day is ruined. And why is that? Yeah,
unless you have ways to align with your mindset to snap out of that quickly, right? One of the quotes that's going around in the industry is successful people are the ones that are quickest to pivot and get back out of whatever it is, like whether it's, a failure or mindset issue or something that's negatively impacting their business. Yeah, and so that's what we try and teach as well. Well, we do teach it, and it's just, hopefully everyone takes it to heart.
So
what about Liz? Okay.
Liz says, as I said yesterday, I've made $8.80 in the past 6 months. I started last year, but I stopped about 2 months in. I know that she's had issues and life things happen. So I managed to sell some of my my first wedding goods. So I've picked up making products since May. So the math says $148 per month.
Okay, so that's good. Then you have a very low target to match. That's one of the things that you have to completely always remember. Jen and I started at exactly this point. In fact, we were lower. I made 29 cents on my button. And it took a while before I made more. And so I was holding on to that 29 cents dearly. And I kept saying, this is proof that I can do this. This is proof that I can do this. And I didn't give up. And so, Liz, I know that you, one of the things that's definitely an issue with you is you've had a lot of things that keep coming up in your life. And so that's very tough. And it's also something that relates to mindset, which is strategy number 4, where you are, it's tough. You just can't bring yourself, okay, I've just had a really tough time taking care of my mom, and now I have to go sit down and do Zazzle work. Sometimes that just can't happen. You don't bring the perfect energy to the table.
And we've been in that situation.
And we've been in that situation. I had to take care of my mom, my dad, so many people in our lives. So I can really speak from my personal experience and from Jen, where every ounce of your being is you're just having a hard time just being there and putting your clothes on, let alone, just what I mean by getting ready or being what you do normally without thinking. And that takes effort even sometimes. So how can you then become an effective business owner on Zazzle? And that's one of the things that's, you have to give yourself grace and allow yourself to say, hey, I'm not giving up. And as soon as I feel like I can do this, I'm going to start slowly. So you're 8, and maybe that's an angel number. We should look up 888 and see, because that might be like a sign that says,
I'm going to look it up right now.
Don't give up. It's okay. We're going to take care of you. It's just you've had to go through all these things right now to take care of other people who needed you, which is really, in your case, a lot. You had a lot to deal with. And you've also had to give up certain things in your life. But the more you can work on your mindset, as well as your Zazzle product suite, is definitely going to really, really help you, Liz, because it'll be really nice to then start to feel a little bit of a reward coming in once you do something. And we want you to keep checking back with us. Maybe even for you, I want you to, because now our 8-week live experience is over, so I want you to check back with me and tell me what you've done over the last like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And then we're going to check in with you, okay? Because that's what I really think is going to, like, my heart says that that's what needs to be done right now, to help give you a little bit more spiritual guidance and closer attention, so that you can just feel that it's okay, because you've tried so many times and it's not moving forward because something else comes in the way. So now you're associating the lack of Zazzle earnings with the fact that it may not work for you, whereas actually it's something else. It's that you're just trying to crawl out of that space of all that stuff that's happened in your past, and that's very, very difficult to do. So any glimmer of hope and feeling that you're on the right track is going to really help imprint the fact that, okay, this is good for me. I'm going to keep moving forward in this, so you don't bring doubt to every part of your product suite. And guess what? This is all part of product suite development, right? All of your products have to feel good for you, and you have to be in a good headspace in order to make products that people want, because there's so many things involved.
Okay,
what's the angel number?
Angel numbers is, so it says if you see 888, it's a message from your angels to bring back balance into your life.
I didn't even know the number, and it's true. That's what Liz is missing. I can feel it. I can sense it, and I want to just give you a big virtual hug, because that's what you need to do. And so we'll be part of that, bringing that balance into your life. Happiness, knowing you're on the right track, knowing you're doing the right thing, that will, like, move you from taking care of people and lost opportunities to I'm on my right path now.
Okay. All right. So then we'll go, what did we say, 15 more minutes?
Yeah, but we're actually only 10 minutes in here.
Okay, we'll do 5 more minutes. Who is this Facebook
I
user?
could be on all day doing this.
Let's see.
Like, would you like to actually do this all day for 3 days? If you'd like this, like, not a panel discussion, it would be a little bit more regimented, because we'll do workshops, we'll do work, like literally do work while we're doing this. We'll talk about certain topics, including everything that we're talking about here. We talked about goals in our first live session, and now we're talking about product suite. Goals is from Perceivable, which is we have 3 pillars of our business framework that we feel is very, very important for you to be an effective business owner. And the first pillar is Perceivable. So when we did our first live, we talked about goals, which is part of being perceived. Like, you have to perceive that this business will work. And that's what we're going to do with Liz. We're going to help her perceive that this business will work for her. And then the second is passive, and that's what we're doing here. We're getting our workers, our product suite, to work for us. And so we're going to talk more about that in the 3-day live event. You thought you got a lot of value here. Boy, oh boy, you're going to get a lot more value there. And then because we're going to do like interactive stuff, we're going to get you to do work, create your product suite. We're going to get you to create like a plan for your entire year. And so, yeah, if you like that kind of thing, you can be on board with this 3-day live event that we're going to hold next week, actually, starting a week from now. Yeah. And it's virtual, obviously, because of COVID. And we're going to go from 12 to 5:30 every day, Eastern Standard Time. And the third thing that we're going to talk about, because each day is going to have one thing, one pillar, 2 items in each of the pillar that we're going to talk about. And the third day will be everything to do with profitable, which we like, because we want you not just to work, we want you to work smarter so that you can be profitable. And that's the whole name of this game, because if you're working really hard, and unfortunately, the people who have posted their stuff right now in terms of the dollars, it's awesome because we can see that there's potential. If you were on Zazzle and you never made a sale in 5 years, we'd have to really look at your product suite, and it's like, maybe this isn't for you. But the fact that you made some sort of sale, that's a glimmer of hope. So all you need to do now is figure out what's the next step for you. Why did this work? How can I make it work again and again and again? And so that's the third day, is the profitable day, where we talk about things like that. And we've talked a little bit about it here for sure. But if you're interested, we put the link in the chat. Go check it out. We have a whole sales page there. You can see what we're going to do, the schedule, the times. And as I said, if you want to be part of this, that it's a very low cost. It's something that we're doing because we wanted to do this in person. We want to have a ton of people there and get to know everyone personally, which is obviously not going to happen right now, but we can get to know you on Zoom, which is where we're going to hold the conference call for each of the days. And we can do this as an intimate session anyway.
Yeah. Well, and
COVID, forget, COVID, we're going to do things be avoiding, like we don't want to stop because of COVID. We want to actually keep moving forward in our business. And everyone here needs that so they can get that money that they need if in case that's what they want to do, is create this as a full-time job.
So the sessions will be on Zoom. It's going to be intimate. It's not going to be streamed onto Facebook. So anybody in in the public groups you have to sign up and join with the Zoom link. And you don't have to be on camera. You're always able to turn your audio and video off. You're just going to be listening if you want, or you can be on screen with us. And we will be doing possible hot seat coaching where we're going to be calling on you and we can talk to you face to face and interact with you on the Zoom call if that feels comfortable for you. And as you said, we're going to be doing a lot of work, like physical work, where you're going to be working and we're going to be directing you with instructions and sort of challenges and exercises. And it's just going to be super interactive and absolutely amazing. And we do have spots already taken. So get get your spot now because spots are limited. And we're just very excited to have this opportunity to be with you on Zoom because, as we said, we wanted to do it in person, but this actually opens up possibilities for people who wouldn't be able to physically be with us in person for those 3 days.
And if you're not able to be on live, everything is going to be a replay. So you can ask questions and be part of things like afterwards, after watching the replay. We will still honor that, and because we're going to have a Facebook group for an entire month. And you can watch the replays, ask questions. Even in that Facebook group, we're going to do some fun things after the 3-day live event to keep you motivated and keep going, because that's what we're here to do, is empower you to have your own creative online business.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kate has a question about a course or something. What did I see?
No, I think she was talking about the Zoom, the Creative Entrepreneur Online. It's next week. It's on July 8th, 9th, and 10th. And it's going to be on Zoom. So that's what she asked here in the Facebook group. Okay. So we will do how many more? Maybe one more. I did have, it was Lucy, and she had.
Okay, Lucy. Is that
so I've created comical animal characters, but they don't necessarily fit into seasonal themes. For example, I have set a set of dog drawings and I'm missing a trick here? I'm not too sure what you mean. I just placed my images on products, but I should start creating seasonal characters to catch seasonal sales. Do you feel like there is any point to having items that can't be personalized?
Definitely there is a point to having items that aren't personalized, for sure. You should always, in your product suites, always have just the item, like the graphic or artwork or photography, just as is. But be very intentional with where your products are, what you're adding your item to, like your design or your photograph or your artwork. It has to make sense. It can't just be put on certain things in order to say that you made 1,000 products with those. It has to say, okay, someone would literally buy that on like a cell phone case. And then like if you have a cell phone case, I actually have a clear case for one, so I don't usually have, but then you have to literally say, okay, if I'm going to put like an animal character and the animal character's head is over top of, where the print is for the whatever case it is, like Casemate or OtterBox, those kinds of things are the things you have to watch out for. And if it doesn't work, or if it's bleeding over the edges, then maybe what's happening is your design doesn't look good just on the flat part, because part of it's going over the edge. That's really the part that always gets me, is that people don't put things up properly. You have to consider that the customer doesn't just want your design, even though it's plopped up. And I'm not saying you're doing it, but I've seen that a lot. And so if that's where people lose sales, if they just add their design without anything added to it, like a text. that if they do it properly and they put it in the right place, like maybe calendars or someplace where like it makes sense, like it's a print or something to do with maybe home decor with pillows and so on, all of that where it literally fits on it, like it makes sense to the customer that you're adding a particular like design all by itself, then that's perfect. And those sell really, really well.
Yeah.
Now I'm not sure, like I want to, like the language is a little bit difficult here for me to digest, because I don't want you to say there's a trick. There is no trick. It's not a like a luck thing. It's not a magical thing. It's literally market research, and it's literally market. Like you are serving the customer. And actually, this is the first time I said that in the entire whole speech that I've done so far. You need to serve the customer. So depending on what your characters are, how are they serving your customer by adding them to a product? And that's, you said you have a set of dog drawings. Awesome. There's so many dog lovers that are buying stuff. So figure out how your dog drawings can be applicable to a particular customer. And again, we do talk about that in the Profit by Design Academy, because we go really far into customer avatar and making sure that you have a customer avatar and that you define it and that you then are making products specifically for that customer. So I would need to have a few more examples here, but you said that they don't necessarily fit in seasonal themes, and I think that's actually better, because seasonal, I consider seasonal products to be bonus money. So if you're dealing with a company, we've been doing this analogy of the company all this time, so what I want is evergreen workers. I don't want seasonal workers, because evergreen workers, which is I think what you're getting at, that you have things that aren't specifically made for a season, but they are going to sell all year long, which is called evergreen in my books. And seasonal is unpredictable. Seasonal, you know that there's a surge in sales, but it's not predictable and it's not consistent. There are times where I've made a lot of money at Christmas or one of the other holidays, and thought, okay, I've scored now the next year I'm going to make just as much money with that product, and it goes to half or less or even zero. And so it is not predictable, whereas evergreen products are much more predictable. And they are, if you meet a market niche, because it means if you are meeting that niche in May, in August, and in November, then it's a consistent market that's looking for it all the time. Even though it's not the same customer, it's a consistent market that's year after year, month after month, is going to be interested in that product. The fact, I don't know your designs, but if it's dogs and it's not seasonal, you should be making some money here. So yeah, I don't know. We don't have you in the courses, right?
I don't think so, but maybe if you're still on, then give us some more information. But we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten to everybody's questions or to everybody's comments, and we will look over them quickly. But I know that you have all learned valuable information here.
The answers in the chats.
Yeah, but a lot of the questions, although they are very, very different, I know that everybody has learned things from each question that we answered, and that it can be applied to your Zazzle store. And if you would like to join us, we would really love to have you come to the Creative Entrepreneur Online, and that is on July 8th, 9th, and 10th, and it is 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are going to be streaming live onto a Facebook group. So if you're not able to join us live, then you'll have access to a private Facebook group just for that specific event. But if you're able to join us live, then it will be on Zoom, and we will be doing a lot more interactive sessions like what we've done today. And then also you'll be able to be in a more intimate setting with us, where we're going to be doing exercises and work with you throughout those 3 days. And it's going to be really, really great. You're going to get a lot of take-home value. You're going to have a lot of aha moments, and it's open to everyone. Excuse me. It's open to everyone. You don't have to be a course member. You can be someone who is in our public Facebook group and has been following us for a long time, or you can actually even invite your friends or family members to join with us, because it is to show you how to manage a profitable Zazzle business going through the 3 pillars, which are perceivable, passive, and profitable. And it's going to give you an overview. So you don't have to have any prerequisites in terms of our courses or our memberships to join this event.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining us here and taking the time to stay longer with us. And thank you for all the participation. And we can't wait to see you at the event. Go to elkeclarke.com/creative-entrepreneur-online. And we will see you next week with the 3 days of this.
We're super excited. We'll see you there. Bye.